Got a CD player to work on today. This is a Denon DCD 820. This is mine. It was donated by one of my customers that brings me many things. So he gave me a few things as a little gift. And this is the first one that I'm going to look at. I've actually got an amplifier and a tape deck as well, which I'll be looking at. But before I do that, let's just look at a little improvement I did to my shop. I found this old fan sitting at the side of the road, so I figured, what the heck? It gets so hot in the workshop here in the summer. And in the winter, it gets relatively cold, even though I've got heat. The heat all stays up at the ceiling, and I freeze. So I found this at the side of the road, and I thought, why not? You can see my great way of wiring this thing. I didn't even know this thing worked. So, but it's not balanced very well. That's probably why someone threw it out. It was actually a lot worse. I had to bend a couple of the blades to get it like that. The thing, when I first fired it up, I thought it was going to take off. I literally thought it was going to come right off the mount. It was bouncing around so much. But I think it's probably okay like that. Yeah, I know the wiring leaves to be something to be desired. It's just plugged into a plug on the ceiling, so I figured that I may hook it up to the light bulb, or get one of those adapters that you can plug a light socket, plug a plug into, and then I can have it controlled by the switch. But that chain there actually controls the power and the speed, so not necessary. And the little chain controls the direction. So that should aid in keeping the shop a bit cooler for my next little project that I've got to work on today. Okay, this is a Denon DCD 820. It's a CD player, obviously, with a 20-bit 8x oversampled digital filter. This was donated to my channel. You can see right now that the display is coming apart here. You're gonna have to try and fix that. The double-sided sticky tape that holds the display on has let go. Pop that off and put it back on. It's so hot, everything's melting. Yeah, I might hold it for a while. Let's take this one apart and see what's wrong with it. I see their screws are missing from the side here. Maybe somebody's been into this. Either that or there just wasn't any put on it when it was together, which is always possible. We'll pop this thing apart and take a look at the layout of this one first, and then we'll see whether it works, and see whether if it doesn't work, we can get it to work. Today I'm a 0 for 2 so far today, because a couple things that I've looked at already, which there won't be any videos on just because there's no point. One of them was a unit that I condemned, so there won't be a video on that. And the other one, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a battery for an electric bike. Like I work on electric bicycles, but the guy thought he messed something up with it and brought me his battery. And I tested it, and it's got voltage. There's nothing wrong with it. Features both analog and digital outputs from 1990, and it was made in Japan. By Nippon Columbia. This is a Denon machine, as I say. Let's see whether this thing works. This might be a nice piece to put onto my stereo. If it works. Nice display on it. Nice fluorescent display. Let's see whether this thing will play a CDR. It's reading. This thing might not have a problem with it. I might be 0 for 3. Okay. Well, it's reading, but I don't hear any sound. Oh, dude. Oh, it's really low. Wonder why it's so low. Like, I got the amp really cranked up. If you listen to the level compared to the tuner, it's about half the level. Wonder why. Okay, so this is the reason why the volume's low on this thing. This remote control, which I don't have, has volume buttons on it, and some jackass has turned the volume down on this unit, and now the remote is missing, and I don't have the remote. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to reset this thing without the remote control. I might get lucky and be able to program my universal remote to work it. That's always a possibility. And try that, or see if there's a way to reset this thing by buttons and power at the same time. A lot of these units, you can reset them by holding down certain buttons and turning on the power. Now, it doesn't say, I didn't see anything in the owner's manual about that, but a lot of times if you just hold the stop button and turn on the power, a lot of devices will reset. And that didn't do anything, so we'll try some of the other buttons. Okay, upon research, the only way to turn up the freaking volume on this machine is with a remote control. Unfortunately, I have a Harmony 880. I've just programmed it for the model DCD 820 Denon. Let's see if it will turn up the volume. That's more like it. Now, will the volume remain at that level when I turn it off and turn it back on? That's the question. And it looks like it will. Yep. Okay. Here's a clue on this thing. The volume goes from minus 50 to 0, and when I got it, it was at minus 30 or minus 20. There's a little clue when you turn these things on. I'll show you what shows up on the display. So when you first turn it on, it tells you the volume level that it's set to. If you pick up one of these machines and you turn on the power, the first thing you're going to see is that volume level. If you don't have the remote control and you don't have a universal remote like this that can control the volume, you're hooped. It should say 00 when you turn it on. There you go. 00. That's the volume level. It'll now come on at full volume, where it should be. So I wish there was more I could show on this CD player, but it does not appear that there's anything wrong with it. The only thing that was wrong with this unit was somebody turned the volume down and then proceeded to lose the remote, and then because they couldn't get any sound out of it, well, I think it went to, it had a price tag on it, so it probably went to Value Village. The guy that gave it to me bought it at Value Village, found that it had low sound, and said, oh, to hell with it, I'll just get rid of it. So he gave it to me. So now I've got myself an actually nice sounding Denon single disc CD player, which I am going to put this to use. This has got dual DA converters right down here. Here's the DA chips. PCM 56P. Those are Burr Brown chips, regarded as some of the finest of the D-to-A converters. Used to hear people talking about, I got Burr Brown converters. Now this has got two of them in it. One for the left channel, one for the right channel. Very nice sound. As you can see, here's the left channel here. It's marked with the left, and the right channel. Wish there was more to show on this, but it's working, so there's no adjustments that need to be made. Only thing wrong with this was the volume control was turned down. And as I say, unfortunately, you have to have a remote to do it. If you don't have the original one, you can buy an original remote for about 70 bucks. But if you got a Harmony remote, such as this Harmony 880, I've got 2 of these. This is my service remote that I just program up. I have one on my home system, the same. And this is one that someone gave me, and yeah, it works great for when you have a lost remote. Usually it will work. Sometimes you'll get, sometimes even with the Harmony though, they'll want you to take the original remote and point it into the back, and if that's the case, you're kind of hooped. But I lucked out this time and was able to turn the volume up, so now I've got a useful CD player. Thanks for watching.